Welcome to the lesson 15 of OpenXava. In the previous lesson, we saw how we can modify our database using SQL statements without losing data and information in a production environment. You can see more about this lesson following this link here. In this lesson, we will see how we can define calculations by default to apply in multi-user environments. We can say that another useful way to add business logic to our model is using JPA callback methods. A callback method is a method in our entity that is called in some specific moment of its life cycle, has a persistent object. That is, we can specify some logic to execute on save, read, remove, or modification of the entity. In this section, we will see some practical application of JPA callback methods. Until now, we have been calculating the invoice and order numbers using default value calculator annotation. This calculates the default value when the user clicks to create a new invoice or order. So, if several users click on the new button at the same time, all of them get the same number. This is not multi-user safe. The way to generate a unique number is by generating it just on save. We are going to implement it using JPA callback method. JPA allows us to mark any method or class to be executed in any part of the life cycle. We will indicate the calculation of the number just before the saving of the commercial document. Using this approach, we will improve the number calculation for having a different numeration for orders and invoice. Now we will edit the commercial document entity and will add the calculate number method in this way. So we need to locate here commercial document, open it, and add here the following method. And we will add here the pre-persist annotation. That's because this will be executed just before the saving the object for the first time. If we look closely, this code is the same as the next number for year calculator class, but using getClass getSimpleName instead of commercial document. The getSimpleName method returns the name of the class without the package. For example, just the entity name. It will be order for order and invoice for invoice. Thus we can get different numeration for order and invoice. The JPA specification states that we should not use JPA API inside JPA callback methods. So the above method is not legal from a strict JPA viewpoint. But Hibernate, that is the JPA implementation OpenXava uses by default, allows us to use it in the pre-persist annotation. And since JPA is the easier way to do this calculation, we use it in our practice. Now we can delete the next number for year calculator class from our project and modify the number property of commercial document to avoid using it. So the first step is going here to calculator's package, locate here next number for your calculator class, right click on it and click on delete. Click OK, and that's it. Note that we have here some errors. Now we need to go to here and we need to remove here this line like this. Here we delete it, and we will add here the read only annotation. That's because we don't want the user change the value here. Note that in addition to removing the default value calculator annotation, we have added the read-only annotation. This means that the user cannot enter or modify the number. This is the right approach given that the number is generated on saving the object, so the user type value will always be overwritten. Now we need to test our application to be sure that all functionalities are working okay. So start it. When we enter our application, if we go to invoice or orders, if we create here a new invoice, we can see that we can write here a number. If we call here a customer and add some products with this number, when we click here save, we can see that we have here a new message indicating here the number of this invoice. If we go here to the list mode, we can see that we have here the recently created invoice. When we open it, we can see that here number is automatically assigned. So the functionality is in this in invoice is working fine. So let's try here in orders. Go to orders, create a new order, and we can see that number is read-only 2. We can add here products. Okay, we click on save, and we have here the automatically generated number for an order. If we go to list mode for order and check here, we can see that the number is here. So this is the modification to our application. In this lesson, we saw how to define properties and values applicable by default, something that is very useful if our application will be used in a multi-user environment or in a massive access environment. In future lessons, we will see other ways to add business logic and how to synchronize properties. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for future content, and you can leave a message about this lesson. See you soon.